Kevin from Unwanted FC. Cheers for making the time to come down and have a chat. Welcome back to Hong Kong. Just tell us a little bit about yourself and Unwanted and why you've landed in Hong Kong over the last 7 days.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Ollie. Thanks for having me. Long time coming after being internet friends for a year or two. So yeah, back in Hong Kong, back in the motherland for a pop-up with a local football boutique, Hong Kong Bull Boot. You were at the launch party, super successful, a market that I've always wanted to tap into. I know people here love football. So yeah, exciting times ahead. I think hopefully this is just a start.
Yeah. Is there a plan then to maintain a presence in Hong Kong through these like collaborations that you've built or the network that you've built?
Definitely. I think it's worthwhile. This week was kind of like a test for our partners here, but all positive signs, and we're already talking about, what's next. But we've got some ideas brewing here.
Yeah, okay, nice. So you're here for how many more days?
Till Saturday, so only a few more days.
Oh, tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So it's all up. It's been 1 week.
Yeah. And then do you have any like immediate plans or ideas about when you're going to get the next comeback or?
Hopefully by end of the year.
Yeah?
Yeah. Depends. There's a few different ideas floating around. Still confidential. I'll let you know off air.
Okay. All right, nice. So how did it all start then? So again, you mentioned that we've followed each other for quite a few years. It's probably more than 1 or 2 years, with like the COVID stuff. I can't remember what it was now. Yeah. How did it all come about? What's the starting point of Unwanted FC?
Yeah, it's been a lot of lifelong moments have kind of shaped the brand, I think. Without me just even realizing, the name, there's more to it than just Unwanted Kits. So I'll give you a long story since we're on a podcast.
That's it.
My brother and I, twin brother of mine, also co-founder of Unwanted, we spent years working in sports and fashion, and on the outside it seemed glamorous. It was our dream as marketers to work for brands we could advocate for, but behind closed doors it was far from glamorous. We saw so much waste every year, producing more and more, selling less and less. And a few moments I really broke my heart was working for a global sports brand. A few sample football jerseys wouldn't come to life. Obviously, if a sponsor changes or the color isn't right, the samples get sent off for destruction. And that just didn't sit well with me. And that was the turning point where I thought we've got to do something about it, starting on a small scale, upcycling tote bags and wash bags.
I love the wash bags, by the way.
Yeah, got one
cool.
here. Yeah, started that in 2018, but very quickly we went from like a social media community page to people globally connecting with us and advocating for upcycling and merging that with football. So fast track, 6 years on, we've kind of turned it into a bit of a business model.
Oh, right, that's amazing. So in the large companies that you worked for before, this was just not really an area that they were too bothered about. I don't want to be like name dropping them or anything, but yeah.
Surprisingly not. On the outside, you think so, because you see all these sustainability campaigns and it all looks great. But on the inside, it's unheard of. As a big brand, I think they're very profit margin driven. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a shame to hear, because the other thing that is like a bit painful as well, not necessarily from a sustainability point of view, is but people put time, energy, and effort into creating these kind of concept kits or sample kits or whatever, and it's a shame that they never get to see light of day. So it's quite a good way of doing it. You sometimes see on Instagram, don't you, when like there's a new season coming up and the new team's football kits are leaked. I guess sometimes it's bullshit, but I guess sometimes they probably are like legitimate, like samples that are made. So they never get to see the light of day, which is a shame.
Funny story as well. Some brands would seed out products to kind of media outlets and do a leak on purpose to generate hype. Just a fun little fact. It's pretty smart marketing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Of all of the pieces that you've done, well, in fact, what was the piece that you did then that maybe took you from this small community that's kind of like catapulted you out there? Was there anything in particular, or a point that you could go, yeah, that was the moment where we took off?
Yeah, the moment that kind of brought us a lot of attention globally was, I think, the wash bag. The wash bag came to fruition after a lot of chats with Hector Bellerin. He gave us a follow on Instagram. I had to check like 3 or 4 times to double check it wasn't one of those fake accounts, but it was really him. Started chatting, and he was really interested in the concept. He just wanted something that he could travel to game days with.
Yeah.
So the wash bag came to life with him when he first moved from Arsenal to Real Betis.
Yeah.
There was a few photos of him rocking up to game day with his upcycled wash bag.
Yeah.
And just gained a lot of attention. And still, that was maybe 2021.
Yeah.
And I think upcycling was still a growing trend.
Yeah.
A lot of football fans hasn't really seen it before, but resonated with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good time as well, because that's about the era when, you know, you always see the players getting off the bus they've got their big headphones on and they've got their wash bag under their arm. It became like a bit of a thing.
Yeah, it was just out of COVID, so still wearing face mask, I remember. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so it was just out of COVID, I think. Yeah.
Nice. And then from a product development, as you've gone from wash bags to so many other things like hats, bags, the keychains, I know you've got one on here as well. Is there an item that you've created that is your favourite? That you thought, do you know what? I'm really pleased with how that's turned out, or maybe even been surprised with how it's been received by.
Man, I love all of our lines. Like for Keith and I, if we don't believe in a line, we scratch it. There's been so many other samples we've made that just didn't see the light of day.
What did you do with them?
I don't know.
They don't go bin, do they?
I need a no. They're still. We've got a little archive at home, and one day we'll do a little like exhibition or archive sale or something with it.
Yeah, you should. It's a great way of telling the story, isn't it?
Yeah. But in terms of like favorite items, I think Keith would agree with this. The boot bag is just so functional. Any player could use one of our boot bags. Amateur, street player, futsal player, pro player. They all love the boot bag. Very functional. You could wear it on its own or put it in your larger duffel. That's been our best seller for years, and just continues to improve as well. Right now we're looking at waterproof inner lining to make it even more functional. So I love that it continues to evolve over the years as well.
It becomes just as much functional, like you say, rather than just fashion. Yeah. That's good. And then when you first started it all, then were you? I mean, maybe you still do. Are you hand making the pieces? Are you sewing the stuff together?
Not me personally. We have a team of tailors and designers in Australia, spread across Brisbane and Melbourne. But they're all very talented. You know, Keith and I come from marketing backgrounds, so we're very good at briefing, very good at the concepts. I know how to cut the kit. I know how to cut up slowly to a pattern, but don't know how to operate the sewing machine yet.
Okay. Did you and your brother grow up playing football together?
We did, yeah. It was our life. Yeah. Just wanted to become pro players. Never quite made it, but football was our life. You know, growing up in a very quiet neighborhood in Brisbane, Australia. Lovely place, very safe, lovely community. But for us, we didn't have much else than football, you know. A lot of our family was in Hong Kong. And being Chinese Australian, not many other kids in the neighborhood look like us, not many Asian kids, no Cantonese people in our school. And that is something I wanted to touch on, like the word and brand name Unwanted. You know, growing up, we did feel unwanted. Parents didn't really speak the local language, English, when we first moved over. So oftentimes, you know, growing up, we always felt like misfits, always kind of like unwanted. So naturally, the name was a no-brainer for us when we wanted to do something. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. There's I've got a sister. I don't have a brother, so I definitely don't have a twin brother. But I've got a good mate of mine back home that's a twin. I'm always fascinated by like the brotherly dynamics behind that.
Yeah.
Obviously, growing up, were you quite like rough and tumble, like fighting or arguing, or were you quite?
Quite tight? Both. A few fights. Yeah.
How does that translate into the working world then?
It's been great. Like we're very open with each other, like very transparent. Super grateful about that. You know, if one of us come up with an idea, we don't criticize each other. We take it as feedback and just continue to ideate.
It's hard to do with brothers though, I think sometimes, isn't it? Or is it?
I see it the other way around. Like I don't see it as criticism because I know where his heart is. It's for the brand, right? Okay. It's not out of greed. It's not out of toxicity. So very grateful to be in this with my twin brother. Because in business sometimes it's hard to come across people who have the same values and morals.
Yeah, especially in football as well. Like, as much as I do love football, there are some characters and egos in the game that
True.
is very difficult to work with, right? Yeah. What does a typical, outside of obviously the collaboration weeks when you travel and stuff, what does a typical like work day or work week look like for you then?
Yeah, it's busy. We're wearing a lot of different hats. Customer service, a lot of questions around what's possible and what's not possible with our upcycling service. A lot of comms back and forth with our partners. We also have a partner factory in Malaysia that helps us upcycle in bulk. It's been a good way to scale upcycling. If we get a order of over 100 units, we don't want to do it out of Australia. We do it out of Malaysia because there's a bigger team there.
Yeah.
A lot of comms, really, a lot of emails, a lot of calls.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Who's ordering that then? Because in my head, I kind of thought it would be more like, individuals have got something that's quite meaningful to them that they maybe contact you and say, hey, can you like commission pieces, I guess, can you turn this into this for me? What kind of people or clients would you have that are ordering 100 or 1,000 of units?
It's more so football clubs itself. Yeah. So in the past year or two, we've gained more publicity, I guess, and it is something we want to do more of B2B, being able to reach a larger community. And for the club to educate their community on the importance of upcycling. We think it's a big win. And again, it's going to be a good way to scale Unwanted FC. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So perhaps with some of their old stock or their old season shirts, they're going, okay, instead of just like dropping the price and selling them for almost no margin, they're going, okay, we want to do something a bit more.
Exactly. A lot of clubs seem to find a dead stock or overstock very easily. It could come from the changing rooms, training grounds, retail stores. We've got a client from a different sport, not football, in Australia, found 10,000 units the other week, sitting in a little shed. They had no idea. People there in the office had no idea what was in the shed for years. They thought it was just storage for equipment. But turns out they found over 10,000 units of old season garments, all still in usable condition. So we're in talks now. How do we make the most of it? Hopefully upcycle a few and maybe make a small vintage collection out of a few pieces too. Yeah.
Oh, right. No way. Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. How long was it in there, sorry?
Years. They said years. Yeah. They've got some stuff dating back to, 2013, 14, I think.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
And then for you personally, when it comes to following a team, like who's your team?
United. Man United. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's...
I don't say that with much confidence anymore, but...
Yeah, but you've had years of success. You just got to get down there and shut up with the rest of the United fans now. Is there any pieces that you've done, like Man United branded stuff? I remember seeing like one of the Schmeichel goalkeeper kits that you've turned back, which is pretty cool. So much as I hate United, especially from that era, that's a really cool piece that you've got. Have you managed to be able to work with Man United or?
Not directly.
No.
Had a few chats with their staff. It's always hard because they're based in UK.
Yeah.
We're in Australia. Production takes place in Malaysia as well. Doable. So we've got to keep selling the dream to them. But that would be a dream collaboration with Man United. Yeah.
What era will you have grown up watching United then?
Early 2000s. Born in 96, but my fond memory was, that Ronaldo era. Yeah. Just before Cristiano as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So
very successful
Van
era.
Van Nistelrooy leading the line.
What a player.
Yeah, the Arsenal Man United rival. Kind of era. Yeah. Okay.
Made me hate Arsenal so much watching those derby games.
Yeah.
Not the same, hey, these days.
Yeah, it's just so yeah, you hear this a lot now that the rivalries in football, especially the Premier League, it's not really what it was. And there's also an argument that there's no like flair players or character players in the game anymore. Everyone's just an athlete.
Yeah.
So this is what I think gives a good focus to other like up and coming leagues. So if you look at the likes of the A League, like the quality of that has like improved drastically over the course of the last 10, 12 years maybe. Like, do you work with teams in that? Do you have any kind of relationship with the A League and the clubs there? Yeah,
most definitely. A lot of direct relations with the players. A lot of the players advocate for us and see a need to upcycle old kits every season. 3 new playing kits at least, new training wear, new travel wear. a lot of the players are resonating with us. We've worked with a few clubs, but there's been a few boundaries, a few that the A-League needs to sign off. We're not a big merchandise supplier as well, so we don't bring the most profit margins for them. So it makes sense. No hard feelings. They've got other commercial partners to work with and spend their time on working. But but very grateful to work with players directly, both on the female and male side. Just seeing them advocate for us. A lot of the content that ends up on our social media is all organic. It's not like we pay them to wear our stuff to game day. It's all organic. They want to and they choose to upcycle their old Unwanted kits and carry it to training and game day. So really grateful.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting how that becomes like a sustainable company, becoming also like a sustainable marketing model as well. It's not like it's authentic relationships that you've got with these people who are also passionate about what you guys are passionate about as well.
So true. Yeah, I think our brand transcends beyond the product. It's a way of doing things as well. Yeah.
And what's next then for Unwanted? Apart from, I know you said there's some things in Hong Kong that you maybe can't go into, but other stuff that you've got going on back home in Oz, or any other trips around the world or collabs that you've got lined up?
Yeah, we're looking at North America for 2026 for obvious reasons. We really love the effect that a World Cup can have on a host area.
Yeah.
Because we experienced it in 2023. Australia hosted a Women's World Cup, and it was just so empowering for the local game, for girls looking to become a professional soccer player or just participating in the sport. Amazing. And we think that North America will get that effect.
Yeah.
Little kids looking up at soccer players as a role model. We think it's going to be great opportunity. The market's going to go crazy for soccer. We're already in the talks with a few partners in Mexico and the US.
Yeah. Okay.
So hopefully it happens.
Yeah. That was going to be my next question, because it's across 3 countries: Canada, US, and Mexico, right? Where do you even start? I guess again you would have some existing relationships with either personally or social media. But what's your starting point for that? Is it just like you just picking cities that you've got relationships in and going there, or?
We think so. Yeah. Just trying to see who's interested first, who's happy to host us. Who has excess inventory to really upcycle with us and tell a story. We want to not only cater our service, we want to be there in person and host workshops, throw a party to really tell the story and educate attendees on the importance of upcycling. But haven't really picked a host city yet. Still in the talks.
Yeah, I don't even know where you'd start. There's so many, right? Yeah, okay. All right, well, look, sounds like you got a lot lined up and coming up. Again, appreciate you taking the time to come down and chat. Is there anything that you wanted to add or get a message out there? Here, or?
No, I think we've covered a lot, Ollie. Really appreciate your time and nice to meet in person finally.
Yeah, for sure.
Just would love to thank Hong Kong. I mean, the football community here was so amazing. On Sunday at the launch event, it was just crazy to see, pro players we see on TV under the roof, celebrities rocking up, football fans, creators, all under one roof. It was a very unique experience, and one I'll never forget.
Yeah. It's great, isn't it, that football brings these people together outside of stepping onto a football pitch. So no, I appreciate the shout out for the party as well. So good to connect finally. And cheers for coming down and sharing a little bit of your story.
Thank you so much.
Nice.